It's time for another Out of Bounds Rewind with Bo Bounds on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Brad Edwards on the Out of Bounds show. Isn't it crazy that Ole Miss could have a monster season and be the way the game has changed compared to when you and I were growing up at Veterans Memorial Stadium when games were 16-10.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and
now
hey,
totally
even 10
flipped.
years ago. I mean, think about Alabama LSU.
That's true.
2011.
9-6. Sure.
You know.
But what you and I grew up with, and you're right, to a certain extent, just shifted the last few years. And they could have an average D, but be so explosive on offense that they could win their way into the discussion of the college football playoff.
And that's where we are. And that's why I think they could be one of the three best teams in the country, is just because from what I see, they're going to be that difficult to stop on offense. Now, you always have to look at the recent Oklahoma teams. And while defense might not win championships anymore, you have to reach a certain level on defense in order to be able to win games. Like it's kind of, to put it in tennis terms, you got to be able to break serve every now and then. You know, and in college football today, that doesn't mean force a 3 and out. You know, any punt from anywhere on the field is a great job by the defense.
Or a field goal.
That's the other thing. I was going to say, forcing a turnover obviously is better than forcing a punt, but even holding a team to a field goal. And then this is, to me, this is something to watch in the first half on Saturday, because Kiffin is obviously aggressive. He will go for it on 4th down from just about any spot on the field, and will go for it on 4th and 4, 4th and 5. He doesn't care. He's into the analytics, and I admire that, because I think it's the right way to play.
Right.
Especially when you might not have quite as much talent as your opponent in this case. He's going to put the pressure on Alabama, whereas Saban, I cannot see Saban in the first half of any game going for it on 4th and 3 in field goal range. He's going to trot the field goal kicker out there. And if you have an Ole Miss touchdown followed by an Alabama field goal and another Ole Miss touchdown, now all of a sudden Saban's decision to kick the field goal, which is just instinctive for him because he's a defensive-minded coach and he's done that all his life, now they're playing from behind, you know, that they've got to get a service break in order to get back in it. And so, now look, I mean, obviously there's a risk involved in going on 4th down. You could end up with no points instead of 3.
Right.
But I think that's something to just watch out for on Saturday. If Ole Miss goes for it, actually, it doesn't even matter. Like, if they go for it and get it, or maybe they don't even get it in a 4th down, but if they're scoring touchdowns and early in that game Saban decides to kick a field goal instead of answer with a touchdown, it's a long game, but at the same time, I don't think the defenses are going to get a lot of stops on Saturday.
Don't miss one moment of the Out of Bounds show with Bo Bounds. Weekdays 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.